Wish I could get my ladder in here better. But, you know, safety third. I am very nervous about this test. Yes, it's another beautiful fall morning. You guys are getting tired of hearing that from me every day, but it is gorgeous day after day after day. It's just beautiful. Beautiful time of year. Temperatures this morning probably down in the low 40s. I'm sure we got down into the 30s overnight. Some frost on everything this morning, and a bit of a change coming in 2 more days for us. The weather forecast shows some snowflakes. Now, I'm not expecting we're going to have snow covering the ground, but it could be our first snowflakes of the year. So we'll have to see how that develops. But we're down here by the solar panels. A lot of shade on them right now, but they're still generating. Down the other end, a little bit more sun down here. They're still generating. Some of the top getting sun. The sun's just coming up over the trees, and it's just glorious. Just love. We are producing free energy. Yeah, it cost us for the infrastructure and getting it set up, obviously, but the end result is the electricity that we are using is free, and we are not tied to anybody else. We are independent. We are just loving it. It just gives you a sense of reliance, of self-reliance. It gives you a sense of freedom, and something we just really need right now. Today's world is crazy, and just being able to feel that self-reliance just makes me feel better. Now, we have a super exciting day today. Yesterday, you saw me working some more on the gas line. I don't think I really recorded a whole lot of that. A lot of it was, you know, repetitious, and it was kind of the same thing over and over, drilling holes, pulling the pipe, hooking up connections, and I don't know, maybe I could have, should have shown more, but I didn't. I just kind of thought you might get bored. But now it's all in place. Yeah, bit of a glare. It's all in place, and it was getting dark when I finished yesterday, so today I've got to get the pressure gauge hooked onto it. We're going to pump some air into that line. Fingers crossed that we don't have any leaks, because if we have leaks, then it's going to be a disaster. No disasters allowed. Let's get going. If you remember on back a few videos, we first started the gas line, running the gas line. We ran it through the ceiling before they put the ceiling up so that we could get it in there. Then just a few days ago, I put the, right there, I put the stub out for where the propane tank will connect. And then I've been working on running the gas line. After we ran it through the ceiling, I've been working on running it over to the different locations where we're going to need gas. So those got done last night. Let's go inside here, and I'll show you what we've got. Okay, here's the inside to. That's where it stubs out to connect to the propane tank. Goes up and over and up and then across, and then works its way over to that post coming down over there. Can't wait to get this thing hooked up. Okay, so then it comes down that post there, comes into our utility room here, and we've got it running across, over, and down here. There's our first stub out right down here. That's going to be for the gas dryer. Then it comes over here and it stubs out over here. This is for our propane boiler, our backup boiler. And then we were going to run a line over to our stove over here. Right down there. You can see that's our stove layout, tape marks. But Kim and I got talking, and I think we've decided we're not going to run propane over to here. We are just going to have a electric stove and oven. We're off grid. We can use our own solar setup and run it right from there. So no propane over here. All right, I showed you that the panels were mostly in the shade. So let's see what we got going here. We're bringing in 5,000 watts on this inverter and charge controller. And on this one, let's see, we're bringing not much. This one's mostly still in the shade. Our batteries are 71%. Yeah, we need to generate some more, and we will. It'll get going real quick here. It's only about 9:30 in the morning. Let's see. Now we're yeah, 9:36. Still early. All right, I was getting ready to start getting ready for the pressure testing of the system, and then I realized we're missing a gas line. We need a gas line to go over to a water heater, and that's going to be here in the utility room as well. And let me show you how I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to splice right here and tee off of that, and then we'll just come over and down. And the ladder's kind of in the way, but back in this corner is where the water heater is going to reside, so perfect spot for it. Here's some of the tools that I'm going to need. First off, I'm going to need this cutter that will cut the pipe. Then I'm going to need this tool that will strip the cable or strip the gas line hose, and it'll strip the sheath off. Then I'm going to need the adapters that connect the pipe to the fitting, and we're going to have two 3/4 inch fittings because we're splicing a 3/4 inch line, and we're going to be using a black pipe T that is 3/4 to 3/4 to 1/2 inch. So we have two 3/4 fittings and a 1/2 inch fitting, and then we need 1/2 inch pipe, and I've got that as well. All right, first thing to do is cut this pipe in two. Tighten it down a little more. Here, going through. All right. Probably there. Perfect. Okay, then I'm going to need to strip these back so I can get the fittings on. Working with my opposite hand, not as coordinated. And it's a tight space. So easy, the first one. What's the deal? It's not cooperating. I guess I need a bigger hammer. There we go.
There we go.
All right. This does a perfect job. Ow, ouch. 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 Blood.
You need a Band-Aid?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect sharp edge. All right, the next step after I got my Band-Aid on is to put on these special fittings that go on the end of the pipe, and it's a compression fitting. That on, and I got to break this ring apart, and then that goes on right like that. And then I don't know if you can see that very well, but then they say to take this other end and slide it onto that, as opposed to bringing this other end that screws on. So you put that on like that, nice and tight. Then this comes and you screw this down tight, and it makes it nice and sealed. And we'll do one on this other side, and then we'll put the T on. So this is just going to be exact same. apart. Put this over here. Slide this over to pinch it all together. And then we put on this end. And I'll tighten these all up with a wrench in a moment. Okay, next I want to put on my black pipe tee, and I'm going to use some pipe sealant, pipe thread sealant on the threads here. Prevents leaks, so we'll put a little bit of this on both sides. This is actually better than using like the Teflon tape. Some people may not like the Teflon tape for plumbing things, but for pipes and gas lines, this actually works better. Gives you a better seal, less chance of leaks. Get it on there good. Get some on this side. And as Kim would call this, it's the white gunk.
You betcha.
And she ain't wrong. All right, I'm gonna start with this side and get it carefully started. We don't want any cross threading going on. Just hand tight on everything for now. And this is a tight fit.
Now skinny up there, hun.
And all I have that fit are channel locks. These are some big nuts. Loosen that a little bit. Wish I could get my ladder in here better. But you know, safety third. Still gotta be careful not to do any cross threading. Okay, that's by hand now. All right, let's tighten the other side. It's gonna go the other way. Want it good and snug, but like most things, you don't want it over tight. All right, now I'm going to go and tighten down these. I'm going to call them lock nuts because that's kind of what they do. Lock it all in place. I have a very large crescent wrench, and it's not big enough for this. Okay, I think that's about as good as I'm going to get that. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this. I'm going to put, I have a 1/2-inch hose that's going to go down through the wall and then connect into here. It's basically going to be the same kind of fittings, just a smaller hose, and then we'll be good. Alrighty, here we go. My new drill. Made it. Okay, got our 1/2-inch gas line. They come all coiled up and they can be difficult to work with at first, but it's easier than black pipe, solid pipe. Okay, so we're just gonna run this up through the hole. Okay, I've got this fitting all connected on the 1/2-inch line. Just need to bring this over. Thread it on. Got the white gunk, as Kim will call it, on there. Being very careful not to cross thread anything, so I'm just lightly going and making sure it's going good, and I think it is. And we're good. And that's how easy it is to splice on this flexible gas line. Now I need to go down to the bottom, cut the length off to the right size, and put a fitting on that, and cap it off, and then we'll be ready for the pressure test. Glad I remembered this. All right, here's our stub out, and this is where we're going to put the pressure gauge. We're going to put some of the white gook on it. The pipe sealant, pipe thread sealant. Oh, I need to clean that off.
So then you have to cut the pressure gauge off?
No.
Oh.
This isn't glue.
Well, it seems like it should be.
It's not glue. It's just a sealant. Keeps the gas from coming out the threads. Seals it up better. It is not a glue. It's the pressure gauge. Last one I bought of these at Late. Hopefully this one is better. Again, just being careful to not mess up the threads. Okay, it's going on easy, so that's good. We will tighten it with the crescent wrench. And it'd be nice to be able to see the gauge. Okay, that should be good. Now, get an air compressor and start putting air into this. See if we have any leaks. This is very nervous. I am very nervous about this test, because if it doesn't go all as planned, unless it's just something easy to tighten up, we run the risk of not being ready for our propane tank installation, which is scheduled for a week from today. And if we miss that date, then we run the risk of not being able to get one installed at all until next spring. So it's got to work. Okay, we've got the compressor. We're ready to pressurize the line. See what we get. This is very nerve-wracking, but exciting. All right, 2, 3, 4. Let's move that out of the way. We're up to 9 psi. That scared Jazz. 13, 14. Let's leave it right at 14. It looks like it's exactly on 14, and it's already dropping fast.
Oh no.
Okay. So that means now we got to go try and find where it's leaking. But it's going down fast. We're already down to 13, 12. I can hear a hissing over here somewhere. Yeah, right in here we are leak. I can hear it. Oh, it's down here somewhere. All right, so I got to take all of this apart and try and figure out what's the fitting is leaking. Can you hear it? It's leaking right somewhere down in here. All right, we've been gone into town for about 3.5 hours. Just got back and it's starting to get dark. We're heading over to take a look at the pressure gauge. What is it gonna be? Oh, dang, it did go down. It's at 12 and it was at 15. We lost 3 PSI in 3.5 hours. More work to do.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to go have dinner now.
Dang. And now, we're getting an error on our refrigerator. When it rains, it pours, literally. Hopefully we've had this error twice now, and both times we've been able to fix it with a little magnet, but it's pouring down rain. I'm not going out there right now. And big lightning and thunder. Well, we had our inspection this morning and we didn't pass, but we didn't necessarily fail either. So let me explain. The inspector came, he looked over our whole system, he liked everything that we had done, except that I was under the misunderstanding that the pressure gauge just needed to be 15 PSI, which is what I've been using, and we've been holding pressure pretty darn good. And he said, nope, it's got to be 30. And he said, put 25 PSI in there, and as long as it remains above 20, you're going to get some fluctuation with the cold nights and the warmer days. So he said, put 25 PSI in there. As long as it stays above 20, we're good to go. And so I just put the new pressure gauge on, and now I'm going to go in and schedule the inspection again, re-inspection for tomorrow. All he'll do is come out and verify that the pressure is holding, and then we should be good to go. So that's a win. He looked over our whole system. A couple of things he suggested we do. He wanted me to put a return air vent up into the metal in the ceiling, just to allow a little bit of airflow into the building because of the combustion of the wood fire boiler. He said that'll make everything so much better for us. And I needed to move one bracket, and that's about it. We did really good. I just had the wrong pressure gauge on, couldn't get the reading that he needed. So I just put the new one on, gonna put some air in it, then go and reschedule. It's a good day. All right, I just put air in it, and I got it up to about 26 PSI, a little beyond 25, 26 PSI. We'll keep an eye on that, see how we do. Hey guys, great news. We passed our inspection. We passed our gas pressure test inspection. We are ready to move on because we have the propane tank coming soon, so soon. I've got to get a trench dug for it, and then we're ready. So exciting. We passed our inspection.